Coming up on UCF Nightly News, how businesses prepare for one of the busiest shopping days of the year.
And how to take advantage of smaller Saturday deals.
Plus what UCF is doing to help students find the true meaning of family.
In sports, the Knights take on one of their biggest rivals in the conference and a club volleyball team that has high hopes for the season.
Nightly News starts now. Good afternoon and welcome to Nightly News. I'm Haley Rowland.
And I'm Nick Santiago. Today is Friday, November 23rd, 2018.
Black Friday is here and stores are currently dealing with the customer rush. The day after Thanksgiving can be a crazy day for department stores, and the National Retail Federation says 51.6 million customers shopped in stores last year. Managers and employees got stores ready for the influx of customers. A manager at Forever 21 shares what she told her employees to prepare them.
Try to stay focused on the customers and not the merchandise, because there's no way that the employees can try to recover the store and clean the store while on Black Friday, because there's too much going on. So customer service is what I told them to focus on.
Ellis also offers advice for women who are going Black Friday shopping. She recommends bringing a fanny pack instead of a purse so no one can steal their money or credit cards.
Today, customers are racing to get the best deals from big businesses. For small businesses, that joy comes tomorrow. Small businesses are locally owned partnerships with less annual revenue and fewer employees than large businesses. The Better Business Bureau reports that a record-setting 108 million customers shopped at local businesses last year on Small Business Saturday. Activity has increased every year since American Express launched its first observance of Small Business Saturday in 2010. The BBB advises consumers to check for a list of local small businesses in the area on bbb.org.
And outside of the store, online shoppers are gearing up for big Cyber Monday deals. For those who want the deals of Black Friday without dealing with huge crowds of people, Cyber Monday is around the corner. From Amazon, Target, and Best Buy, customers can buy goods for a fraction of the price. But the Better Business Bureau says shoppers should be on the lookout for scams or information-stealing sites. They suggest avoiding risky emails and websites without HTTPS at the beginning of the address. While some people may be focused on shopping and getting their discounted goods, others are focusing more on family.
But for some people, it may not be in the most positive light.
One UCF organization made big plans for LGBTQ students who didn't want to go home to celebrate. Nightly News reporter Rachel DeChico tells us more about how the holidays aren't so merry for some LGBTQ students.
The holidays are a time to spend with family, but for most LGBTQ+ individuals, that's more of a dream than a reality. According to a study by Parents for Lesbians and Gays, 26% of college students receive a negative reaction when they come out. Laura Corello is lucky enough to have a family that accepts her, but she says she's a rare case in her friend group. She told me about her best friend who felt so unwanted when he came out, he left home.
His mom isn't accepting at all. Actually, he hasn't lived with his mom for the past year and a half. If they're not accepting, then they're not really your family. They don't have to be, and you don't have to make them.
This is one of the main reasons UCF Student Pride Director Velma Portocarrero is hosting holiday events for students who don't feel comfortable going home for the holidays.
It becomes difficult to go home for the holidays, especially when you're living in an environment like in the college lifestyle that you've already found the people who support you. Going back is kind of regressing.
Portocarrero is encouraging students who don't feel comfortable going home to make alternative plans. LGBTQ+ Student Services already has a jump start on that. They'll be hosting a Friendsgiving on November 27th in Pride Commons at 7 p.m. In Orlando, Rachel DeChico, UCF Nightly News.
LGBTQ+ Services is encouraging students to find their chosen families if their biological ones aren't giving them the support they need. Whether they're a friend or a teacher, it doesn't matter. Just find the person who accepts you for you.
The holidays are a peak time for seasonal hirings, especially after Black Friday, which also means plenty of employment opportunities just in time to get some extra cash for the holiday season. Nightly News reporter Brianna Sorensen tells us where students are most likely to get hired over the holidays.
According to a report from Challenger Gray and Christmas Incorporated, a globally known hiring firm, approximately 700,000 retailers will be hiring over the holidays. But retail isn't the only area that will be hiring. Corporate marketing analyst at Cavallero Hiring Company, Katie Watson, says that hiring trends are going an unusual way this season.
There are more openings than there were last August. However, some of the openings we're seeing are in unexpected sectors. So FedEx, for example, we're seeing an increase of e-commerce websites needing more people to do like deliveries.
But FedEx isn't the only company that will be hiring over the holidays. While most people looking for a job over the holidays might look at a retail store, due to the increase in online shopping, UPS recently announced that they'd be hiring over 100,000 seasonal workers nationally. 1,200 of those workers will be right here in Florida.
We actually have 3 locations here in Orlando. We have this Orlando hub, our Land Street location, and our Boggy Creek location. And within all 3, we're hiring over 300 people. So we need a lot of people this holiday season.
Based on the Statista website, there has been a 15% increase in online shopping between 2016 and 2017. And 2018 is projected to just keep on rising. Reporting in Orange County, Brianna Sorensen, UCF Nightly News.
According to the automatic data processing website, November is in the top 3 hiring months for this year. So if you're looking for a job, now's your best time.
The change in season can cause stress for some people. Nightly News reporter Aaron Harris tells us more about how this affects UCF students during the holiday season.
It's the season of happiness and also the season of gloom.
For interdisciplinary studies major Muhammad Shalah, family visits in the looming semesters are big stressors.
It's stressful to be around a lot of family in a closed space for that long. Another thing is that I get stressed about classes coming back for next semester.
Shalah says the change in weather makes him feel depressed. The National Institute of Mental Health says students experience seasonal affective disorder, SAD, a type of depression that comes and goes with the seasons. It starts in the early winter and ends in the spring. Experts at Counseling and Psychological Services say the best way to kick the holiday gloom is with prevention and self-care. CAP's mental health counselor Robert Dwyer says regularly doing things that you enjoy is a great way to prevent feeling stressed.
Doing things that make you feel in the present, like tomorrow doesn't matter, like yesterday doesn't matter. I can just lose myself in whatever I'm doing, whether it's video games, spending time with animals, like our therapy dogs here. Those are ways to be in the present.
Dwyer says it's important to recognize and express how you're feeling while you're stressed. He recommends journaling or talking with friends. CAPS offers extra workshops and sessions towards the end of the semester to help students during this time. In Orlando, Aaron Harris, UCF Nightly News.
CAPS offers a number of services for students, including one-on-one group and online therapy sessions. For more information, to get help, go to caps.sds.ucf.edu.
Finals week is coming up, and finals start on December 3rd and end on December 8th. There are many on-campus resources to help students study. Other than all-night study, students can use the Student Union. Before and during finals, the Student Union is offering extended hours. The Student Academic Resource Center will also hold review sessions for various subjects. The session schedule will be released 2 weeks before finals, and these sessions will be in the Union meeting rooms. For more information, you can visit studentunion.ucf.edu.
Going to college and living alone for the first time can be scary. As the semester comes to an end, freshmen are close to completing their first full semester as adults. For some freshmen, college can seem overwhelming. While many try to adapt on their own, blending into a school with over 60,000 people can be difficult. First-year experience at UCF is a program that makes the transition from high school to college as smooth and stress-free as possible.
I am a part of the out-of-state student group, OSSM, and it was definitely easier to make friends because everyone comes from different places, so there was a lot to be learned, a lot to be talked about.
She's preparing for her first finals week by getting a head start on studying. She also is making lists for things she has to get done each day to keep herself on track.
Next up, we'll tell you about a class that can turn your Thanksgiving leftovers into a culinary masterpiece.
Plus, how to balance your budget and avoid breaking the bank during this holiday season. November 13th to the 18th is Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week at UCF. The Hunger Banquet was held to educate students about homelessness in the U.S. At the 25th Annual Hunger Banquet at UCF, the theme was change. At the banquet, students got split up into different groups, demonstrating lower, middle, and upper classes. The lower class could only eat rice, the middle class could only eat sandwiches, and the upper class got served sandwiches, cheesecake, and iced tea. For a couple of hours, students got to experience a meal in the shoes of others.
I'm hoping that with the focus on change, we stop just talking about it and we start doing something about it, because it is an issue that, like I mentioned in 2017, the number of homeless veterans actually went up.
This is the first time the number has gone up in 7 years. The United Nations has made a promise to end world hunger by the year 2030. The UN says that although they have enough food and resources, the food distribution has been a problem in the past.
Thanksgiving dinner is one meal many look forward to all year, but after a day or two, the leftovers can get boring. One UCF group, Wellness and Health Promotion Services, or WIPS, encourages students to get creative with their leftovers. WIP's Fresh U Mobile Kitchen cooking demo teaches students how to incorporate fruits and vegetables into their diets. In this Fresh U demo, chicken tortilla soup was on the menu. However, many ingredients used in the soup could be replaced with leftovers from Thanksgiving holiday. WIP's Nutrition and Outreach Coordinator Megan Case says there's tons of ways students can use leftovers.
If you've got something like mashed potatoes, you can do like a mashed potato pizza where you put mashed potatoes on instead of the sauce. Do a little bit of low-fat cheese, maybe some crumbled turkey bacon or something like that. So we find very interesting different ways. Cranberry sauce can go in oatmeal to flavor your oatmeal.
WIPS also hosts monthly Fresh U cooking demos for students to learn more about bringing new life to everyday meals.
More students are flocking to Knight's Pantry. To accommodate the pantry is preparing to help students in need for the upcoming holiday break. Knight's Pantry will prepare 20 break bags for the holidays. Each bag is filled with items like canned goods and other things that students may need outside of school. To provide more options for students like fresh bread and baked goods, Knight's Pantry partners with Second Harvest Grocery Alliance. Knights Pantry manager Nasika Dixon says she believes having a food pantry on campus is a necessity.
Many students agree that paying for tuition, buying tech.
Dixon says working with Knights Pantry.
The bare minimum is good enough for a student like myself back in that time.
Knights Pantry also works with UCF's wellness and health promotion services to teach students about couponing. For more information about Knights Pantry and their services, visit their website at studentunion.ucf.edu/knightspantry.
The National Retail Federation says that Americans will spend 4.1% more for the winter holidays compared to 2017. Many students are wondering whether they are financially prepared to shell out any extra funds this year. Nightly News has more on why students are stressed over their budgets. Many students agree that paying for tuition, buying textbooks, and covering other college expenses can add up and become overwhelming. A recent survey by the investment management service Wealthsimple says that millennials cited money as their biggest source of stress. And with the holidays coming up, the big question is whether or not students have any budgeting concerns.
Yeah, I definitely feel stressed around the holidays.
But Jordan Kicklighter says he's more worried about exams instead of cash. The 25-year-old senior says that his calmness about funds comes from years of budgeting experience.
Actually having a budget and not just kind of winging it, I think is something that people take for granted.
Kicklighter agrees that other students may be more anxious about how they'll afford things during the season of giving. Another student who is from Russia says that even though she has a limited income, she knows how to stay relaxed.
But if you have a limited budget, for instance, I have a limited budget because of my scholarship, so that's why not to be stressed, I need to plan.
Lady Ava is able to budget her money using a mobile banking app that tracks her purchases. Some other ways that students can budget their money includes cutting out unnecessary small expenses or reselling old textbooks. The consensus between Kicklighter and Lady Ava is that while money may stress some people out, starting a budget can help. Understandable that saving money may seem difficult for some people. Forbes magazine suggests that students should consistently check their budgets and adapt any goals if necessary.
With budgets on the mind and giving season on its way, for some holiday spending can be a bit of a challenge. But for students employed by Walt Disney World, a relief is underway. Nightly News reporter Shania Richburg has more on how Disney's increase in pay will affect student employees.
Walt Disney World recently announced a $15 an hour minimum wage pay increase for Disney employees.
Honestly, it makes a world of a difference.
For students employed by the Mouse-themed entertainment park, this pay increase will come in handy for the upcoming holiday season.
I tend to splurge on my gifts. I really like to go out and shop and take advantage of Black Friday. So it would really help out, mainly because there's just so many people in my life that I want to be able to give gifts to.
Minimum wage here at Disney will increase by $1 annually, eventually making its way up to the $15 an hour minimum wage by October of 2021.
Though it will take time, students employed by Disney like Sydney Rubior are grateful for the increase.
It's not just $1, it's $1 an hour, and if you're working a typical 8-hour shift, that's $8. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but at the end of the week, it accumulates. It becomes a lot of money, like those Christmas gifts and things like that. Being able to have that extra money, whether you're saving it or spending it, is just really important.
Disney employees will see their first increase this December, bumping up minimum wage to $11 an hour. For students employed by Walt Disney World, an increase in pay will mean less focus on finances. And for Disney, it means having some of the most competitive minimum wage rates in the country. Reporting in Orlando, Shania Richburg, UCF Nightly News.
Increases causing other entertainment parks to follow in Disney's footsteps. Shortly after Disney's announcement, Universal Orlando announced plans to increase their minimum wage to $12 an hour.
Coming up, how students are finding their holiday joy by helping others during winter break.
Plus, the plan UCF is working on to make the campus more eco-friendly this upcoming semester.
Winter break means vacation time for most students. However, Volunteer UCF is offering students a different way to spend their breaks. The Alternative Break program offers students the opportunity to travel to different communities while performing community service. They also have the opportunity to learn about different social issues. Lena Bedoya, student director for the Alternative Break program, says this is a great opportunity for students to help serve other communities.
So the Alternative Break program is a great option for students to be able to do service nationally and internationally. We work with different types of social service, different issues that affect not only the United States population, but also worldwide.
Over winter break include Georgia, the Carolinas, and international locations. To find out more about these trips, visit the OSI office in the Student Union or visit osi.ucf.edu/ABP.
Members of the UCF community gathered last week to discuss sustainability efforts for the upcoming semester at the monthly E-Coalition meeting. This year, UCF Sustainability is working to achieve recycling rate of 75% by 2020. In the coming semester, they'll work on reducing waste, as well as introducing a reusable campus-wide cup that students can only use at on-campus restaurants. Vincent Mercucci, outreach student assistant and organizer of the meetings, says working on these ideas is important, but events like this serve a bigger purpose.
So UCF is a huge campus with over 68,000 students. So having events that are focused on sustainability, I think is very important in order to really unite a community of so many students.
In the short term, UCF Sustainability has a swap shop coming up on November 28th on Memory Mall.
Now, something to be thankful for is that we're almost out of hurricane season.
Yeah, Bree, what can you tell us about the past season?
Happy Black Friday, and I hope you all had a safe Thanksgiving. It's finally starting to feel like winter here in Central Florida, which means hurricane season is coming to an end. Hurricane season ends on November 30th, and we were pretty lucky this year in Central Florida with hurricanes, as compared to last year, 2017, when we got hit with Hurricane Irma. Irma was a Category 4, left Central Florida with no power, a lot of Central Florida. It traveled through South Florida as a Category 4 and then came up to Orlando as a Category 3. The largest hurricane we saw this season was Hurricane Michael. It hit the Panhandle at a Category 4 back in October. The max winds were at 155, which nearly makes it a Category 5. It was the most powerful hurricane that the Panhandle has ever seen in its history. In terms of rainfall, there were flash floods warning all across the Panhandle. Central Florida rainfall this year is not at what it was last year, but we still have a month and a half left, so we'll see how much rainfall we get. That's all I have today. Back to Haley and Nick.
UCF is getting ready to take on the USF Bulls. Brianna Sorensen will have more for you coming up next in sports.
Plus, and see how the soccer team has been preparing for the playoffs.
Welcome back, Knights fans. I'm Brianna Sorensen. Here's what's going on in your UCF sports. First, what's a better way to start your Black Friday than with some more on I-4 action? Today with the Knights will take on the Bulls at Raymond James Stadium. Last time the two conference rivals met, the Knights had the fans on their toes the entire game. With less than 2 minutes remaining in a tie game, Mike Hughes hit a seam and took off for 95 yards. The huge kickoff return gave UCF a 49-42 victory over USF. While last season's game was a huge defeat for the Knights, it also clinched the American Athletic Conference East Division title. So will the Knights have another jaw-clenching war on I-4 matchup? We'll find out soon. UCF men's soccer had an incredible season that resulted in a postseason berth and a regular season title. It's the first playoff appearance for the Knights since 2011 and the conference regular season title in 14 years. Back to you, Nick and Haley at the desk.
That's all the sports, excuse me. That's all we have for today. Thanks for joining us.
You can keep up with us on Twitter at UCF Nightly News. Thanks for watching.